Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to my random Ruminations, the one with the Heroes of the Storm t-shirt. I got the side right this time. So, last week I got this. What is this? This is a PlayStation Move navigation controller. Essentially, it's part of the controller set that used that little weird controller with the ball on the end of it that absolutely nobody used. This, however, this is a good thing. Why is this a good thing? Well, first of all, I think this was basically created for using your PlayStation 3 as a media center, which makes perfect sense. I mean, it's actually a pretty decent DVD player. It's actually a pretty good streaming machine, kind of. But that's not what I'm using this for, although I do have a PlayStation 3. This is actually going to be used for digital art, and it's going to be used in combination with the Logitech G13 that my friend Ali gave me. Hey, Alison. So the idea I had was I would put basic controls on this. So like left and right on this is undo, redo, up and down, changes the thickness of lines. This moves the page around. 0 and X would be used for, like X I think would be for quick save. 0 would be for, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still figuring out exactly what I want on it. But there are controls that I use often, but less often. So for controls that I would want at my fingertips every second of the day. This. Quick save is on that because I quick save constantly. I was like, after every few lines, I hit quick save. It's just standard for me because I live in an area with a lot of brownouts. I live in an area with a lot of blackouts, and I have lost hours of work to my system just being stopped by a power cut. So, quick save, good friend. Why do I say G13 also? By binding controls that I use occasionally, but relatively frequently, I can do this. I can have my tablet, be drawing on my tablet, and when I want to do a particular unusual one, I just reach down and go. Because my tablet is usually in front of my keyboard, it means that, well, there's my tablet. You can see it's on a stand, and the stand goes underneath my keyboard. That keeps it in place. So I'm drawing, and usually to get to a controller, I have to reach around behind. By using the G13 to one side, I don't have to do that. By using this for my very regularly used, constantly used controls, I can just rest that hand on my lap most of the time, which is fantastic. Now, that's what it's going to be used for. Putting it on my lap is a good thing. This thing's pretty heavy. I mean, it's not as heavy as a full controller, but it's pretty heavy. I'm kind of surprised by how heavy it is, to be honest. I did not expect it to weigh as much as it does. And I have to say, if I had to hold it like this all day, it would get exhausting very fast. On the other hand, it is very comfortable. I mean, the buttons are all within easy reach. The controls are in easy reach. None of them are hard to use. None of them actually feel like a strain to use, which is kind of important because I'm developing a nice case of arthritis in that wrist. That's great. But it does have an issue. And that issue is this. I use this. It's a Xbox One controller with my Windows computer, with my gaming rig, all the time. This is my go-to controller. And when I use this, it knocks that off. In order to use that again, even if I unplug this and replace it with that, I have to restart my system. It's kind of a pain in the ass. That said, my system has a pretty decent boot speed, so I'm not usually bothered by it. Goddamn light. But it is kind of a pain in the ass, and there isn't really a whole lot I can do about that. It is what it is. So, yeah, that's kind of my random ruminations thing for today. If you do a lot of work with kind of digital with kind of graphics programs, and why you do that? Yeah, if you do a lot of work with digital graphics programs or programs where you only really use one hand most of the time, but you have a lot of controls that you need to go through, I can recommend one of these for your most regularly used controls. It definitely works. They're not expensive. I think this one was on eBay for like a $5. It uses one of those USB connections. I have dozens of them sitting in a drawer. I'm sure you have a few too, so they're not a problem to get connected. You can get replacement batteries if the batteries wear out, which they probably will. And if you still have a PS3, you have a media center control, which is awesome. So yeah, this has been my Random Ruminations techie thing. So yeah, I'll be back on Saturday with Stay a While and Listen. Steve, Coy, Creative Insanity buddy, you're gonna want to watch this one. Anywho, be good. Bye for now.